Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab and today's video, which is going to be my October favorites. I have not filmed a favorites video probably since I moved here from my old place, and for the most part I'm just going to focus on things that I've discovered fairly recently so that it's still true to a monthly favorites. But believe me, I'm going to let you know about anything that I find that happens to be fantastic. So I will always be happy to share those things with you, and I have a small collection to share with you of beauty products, but also some random personal favorites that I wanted to share with you as well. Before we get into the video, if you're new here, I'm Yori. Thank you for joining me for today's video. I'm really happy that you're here today and I hope that you're going to enjoy my video. If you do, please consider subscribing so that you can join me for a future video. I would love to have you here. I do all kinds of makeup reviews. I do full face of first impressions. I do makeup hauls, makeup haul follow-ups, all that kind of fun stuff, and I would love to have you join me in the future. Now that being said, I wanted to thank my first 5 commenters from my previous video. I really appreciate you're showing my channel lab love. When a channel is small such as mine, your engagement really truly makes a difference and I appreciate it so much. Not to mention that you all have some really great feedback to share with me, and I love chatting makeup with you in the comment section. Now, because YouTube isn't my full-time job, I can't always get back to you right away, but believe me, I am reading and responding to as many comments as I possibly can. I also indicated those with YouTube channels with the YouTube logo, and those will be linked down below in case you're looking for some fun new channels to watch. Now, without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into my favorites. So firstly, if you don't mind, I would like to mention a favorite that was gifted to me by a brand. I love this product so much, and it took me some time to get my video out on it, which is basically going to be this video. So hopefully you don't mind that I'm sharing it first. I know that a lot of you have YouTube channels or you like to take pictures of your own makeup for Instagram. Well, let me tell you, this company named InCC reached out to me and they asked me if I wanted to review one of their ring lights. And I actually already have a ring light, but it's a different ring light. It's a Diva ring light, and I wasn't even filming it with it because in this setup, I'm using a mirror for filming since I'm sitting at my vanity. But I thought, you know, I'm really interested in looking at the ring light because they sent me a link and the ring light could go completely horizontal and it had temperature settings for the light, which is something that my ring light cannot do. So I accepted their offer, and I want to tell you a little bit about the ring light right now. It's available on Amazon for $89.99 right now. They did give me a discount code, which I will put in the description box, and let me know if it's working if you choose to support the company. If not, I can reach out to them since it did take me some time to get my video out. I'm also going to put some snippets of videos that I shared on my Instagram stories. It's a lot easier to get information in real time on Instagram, and I did share it over there. So those of you that follow me on Instagram are going to know that I absolutely love this light. So some of the main features about the light itself is you can plug it into an outlet and it has options for warmth of light. So you can have cool light or you can have warm light and varying degrees in between, which is a really great option and something my other lamp didn't have. It had one light temperature and that was it. You can also increase the intensity of the light as well. And there is a diffuser around the LED bulbs that are energy efficient and longer lasting. And I really like it because it's very streamlined. It's not just kind of like a little, you know, elastic or Velcro thing over it. They're actually like plastic frames that fit really nicely around the ring light and diffuse the light beautifully. The ring light comes with 3 different holders, one for a regular SLR camera, one for a phone, or one for a tablet, depending on what your preferred technology is for filming, which is really great. And there's a USB port right on the light, which you can use to charge your device while you're filming. Because you know, if you make videos, you know we're sitting here talking for a good long time and our devices do run out of battery. So that's great. Another thing, it has the option to put batteries onto the ring light itself and operate it using a battery if you wanted to use it outdoors or something. It doesn't come with the batteries, but it does tell you which ones you want to purchase, and I think they're available from Sony. The light comes in a beautiful carrying case as well as a tripod with its own carrying bag. And like I mentioned about the tripod, it completely goes horizontal and it supports the weight of the lamp and then whatever device I'm using to record. I've been using the light for filming filming close-up shots of products that I'm sharing on my video. So whenever I'm reviewing something, if I show you a close-up of a palette or a highlighter or something, I'm using that ring light to light the shot, and 9 times out of 10, I'm using my phone to record it as well. I do the same if I'm showing you swatches. I've basically just set up the ring light over a desk, and I sit down and I will swatch whatever it is on my arms and show you, and it's lit really, really well. It's really balanced, and I've just been loving it. Like, I have had absolutely no need or desire to pull my other ring light, which is so much more expensive, out of the closet. That one is really nice. It's compact, and it's got all those features that my other light didn't. So if you were considering a ring light, I would recommend that one. It works really, really great. I apologize that it took me longer to get the information out to you, but when we're dealing with a piece of technology, it takes some time to get to know it and really gather how we feel about it. And I've done that, and here it is in a favorites video. So if you like to take pictures of your makeup, or you like to do Instagram live, or you like to take selfies, I definitely recommend the light. It is a more affordable entry point, and it's delivered through Amazon Prime if you do have Amazon Prime. Now, I don't earn absolutely anything from the code. It's just a referral code that lets the company know that these clients are coming from my recommendation, but I'm not making any money on that. The link to Amazon is a regular Amazon affiliate link, since I am an Amazon affiliate, so that one would earn me a tiny bit of commission, but that doesn't come from the company itself. I hope you didn't mind my sharing the information about the ring light. I am so grateful to any company that opts to send me any product. I buy 99.9% of the products that I share with you here on my channel, and if a company opts to share something, however big or small, with me, I'm always really happy to share my honest opinions, and this ring light it's really awesome. I'm really excited about that. It's made my filming so much easier. So that being said about the ring light, I have a couple of other random products, but I'm gonna leave those for later so that we can get into the beauty products. The first thing I wanted to mention is nail polish remover. This one is from Ulta Beauty, and it is the maximum strength pure acetone nail polish remover. Ever since quarantine started, I've been doing my own nails at home, so these are nails that I've been doing myself, and I find that I just can't use traditional nail polish remover anymore. It's too slow, it's a little bit sticky. Something like this just gets rid of your nail polish so quickly. Right now I have false nails glued over my natural nails, and the glue that I'm using is really strong, so sometimes it's hard to remove them, and using this acetone is perfect. It's really affordable. It's available on Ulta Beauty, and yeah, I definitely use it to remove regular nail polish, gel nail polish, nail glue, false nails, the whole nine. It's great. It's great and super easy. While on the subject of nail polish, I have very frequently used KL polish on my nails, which is now no longer Kathleen Light's company, but she developed the new company, which she calls Lights Lacquer. And I placed an order from her site because I do have a lot of KL polish, and now that I'm actually polishing my own nails, I really enjoy the brush on those polishes, as well as those funky colors that she comes up with. Caramello from KL Polish is one of my absolute favorites. Also Serene, I think it's called. She just has really funky colors that just gives it a slight edge. So she started a new company called Lights Lacquer, and she recently released something like a romance collection, and I wanted to try some of the shades from there because they had like a green, and I love green. But I did place an order from her site, and I'm happy to report that she did pay the same attention to the brush as she did with KL polish. So it's kind of that wider brush, which is similar to Essie nail polishes, just makes polishing my nails so much easier. So I placed an order from there. The polishes are great, very similar to KL polish. So if you like that, then you're gonna like Lights Lacquer as well. So what I wanted to share as a favorite today is the Lights Lacquer Talk to the Hand Duo. And what they are basically is just her base coat and her top coat. They do sell these separately on her website, but it's cheaper if you buy it in the duo. Like, not a lot cheaper, like a couple dollars cheaper, but you know, any little bit helps. So the base coat is called So Clingy, and the top coat is called So Over It. The base coat works really well. It's not anything special with regard to the base coat, but I do find that sometimes when you use the matching base coat with the top coat, you get a better result. But what I really wanted to mention was the top coat. In the past few months, I just recently learned about the Seche Vite top coats, and they work fantastically. I have been using them. I do love them, but I read the ingredients list, and they have toluene and a couple of chemicals that I've worked in a lab before, we wouldn't casually handle Halloween without gloves. And the nail polish top coat has it in there. So I kind of feel better about something like this one. And what attracted to me is that it is 7 free. So it doesn't have any toluene. It doesn't have as harsh of chemicals. And I was wondering if it was going to work as well as Sage Beat. So it doesn't dry as quickly, but it's pretty darn close. And knowing that it doesn't have toluene makes me feel a little bit better about it. I'm still gonna finish up my Sage Beat because I already have it and you kind of go through it relatively quickly. But I did want to recommend this one because I think it's a little bit safer in terms of the ingredients and it works pretty much just as well. And then if you were interested in picking up any of those funky colors, I definitely recommend those as well. A couple of videos back, I was wearing nail polish where I had some which were like an off gray and then, or like an off white and then some green on the other hand. Both of them were from Lights Lacquer. And I think it's worth a look. If you enjoy polishing your nails, you enjoy those funky colors, I think that this is definitely worth a look. And then don't forget that it is a little bit cheaper in the set. Right now, I'm wearing the base coat and the top coat over OPI's Have Your Panettone and Eat It Too, something like that. I'll link in the description box down below, but this manicure is now about 10 days old and I have absolutely no chipping. So that's definitely great. I have a feeling this video is going to be like 1,000 years old because I haven't even touched on the makeup yet, but I haven't done a favorites in a long time and they're so much fun. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it too. So along the same line with nail polishes, I placed my first order with Holo Taco, which is Christine or Simply Nailogical's brand. I'll admit I didn't really know her channel. I found out about it from the Beauty News girls. They're always raving about the nail polishes, and at one point in time they were going to be releasing multi-chrome nail polishes, and so this is from the multi-chrome collection. I also shared this on Instagram, so definitely follow me over there if you want to get the information the fastest because it's a lot easier for me to share it there. So this one, actually I grabbed the wrong one, but I have them put away somewhere else, so I'll just tell you. My favorite shade is called Cat's Evasion. This one is called Mist Shift, so this one shifts blue to green. I don't know if you're seeing as I move the bottle around, but the one that I love the most is called Cat's Evasion, and it shifts from like a topaz brown to a purple, and in my opinion that is the most drastic of all the different shifts that she has. I bought 3 of them, the ones that appealed to me the most, and Cat's Evasion is definitely my personal favorite. They're all lovely, so if any of them appeal to you, I would definitely recommend them. The brush on this one is going to be more like the OPI brushes, so it's your traditional smaller round brush, which I think it would be great if they would have the flat Essie polish type of brush, but that's probably just personal preference. But the quality of the polishes are really top-notch. Shipping was a little bit slower, but they eventually got to me safe and sound, and I've really enjoyed the polishes. They've been lasting just as long as the Lights Lacquer polishes or Essie polishes that I usually use, and they work really well with the top coat that I mentioned as well as the Sage Beat if you already have that one. So those are my nail favorites. Let's kind of move away from that and go into a couple of brush favorites. I have these 2 brushes here. One is from Sonia G. Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to feature this on my channel, but I did share it on my Instagram again. This is the Sonia G Smooth Buffer, and this is the latest addition to her line. The Face 1 brush, which is very similar to this except it's a wider brush head, is one of my favorites for finishing powders, and I'm really enjoying this one for using in my Hourglass palettes that are smaller pans, because this is like just the perfect size to get into those pans of finishing powders, and it's just a little sister to the Face 1 brush, which I always loved. I've watched it several times. I've been using it on my videos recently, and it's just beautiful brush. All of the Sonia G brushes are absolute perfection, and I love them. I have all of them. I don't have the brush holder because it is so expensive. Maybe one day I'll treat myself, but in the meantime, I'm still collecting her brushes, and the Baby Smooth Buffer is a really, really nice one. This one is of course a natural hair brush, but if you prefer synthetic brushes, I wanted to mention this one from Rare Beauty. I did a video on Rare Beauty where I went over quite a few products from the line. The only product that I didn't love was the foundation. Everything else that I I tried was pretty good. I didn't try absolutely everything, but I had a good variety, and I will put that video in the cards if you want to check that out. One of the things that made the best impression on me was this brush. This is the Rare Beauty, it's the foundation brush. They have a concealer brush, which is just as nice, but a little bit smaller. But I find that I like this one. You can get underneath the eye so well. The shape is so perfect. And it also applies foundation really well. The brush is really soft, but densely packed, so it can move around even like cream foundations if you prefer those. And it applies liquid foundations really well too. Lately, I've taken to applying my foundations more with brushes rather than sponges, and so this was a very welcome addition. I shared other products that I liked from the Rare Beauty line in that video, so be sure to check it out if you are interested. But I think that this brush is a good find. Let's talk about a foundation next, and this one is by Tom Ford. This is the Traceless Foundation Stick, and it's basically just a cream foundation. I have mine in the shade 6.0. Now, unfortunately, because of the way my editing timing works, you're still yet to see a video in which I tried this for the very first time and you saw how impressed I was by it, but since then I've worn it consistently for about 3 weeks in October, and it's a beautiful foundation. It's the foundation that I'm wearing today, and what I like about it is that I really think it lives up to the Traceless name. I find that it really glides over the skin really nicely. I applied it with a brush today. The brush I used was the Zoeva round kabuki brush, so about similar density to the Rare Beauty brush. If you're not new to my channel, you probably have seen me rave about the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Stick Foundation. I love the convenience of a stick foundation. You can just paint it on and then blend it out. Of course, if you're a working makeup artist, you wouldn't go directly to the face on this, but work off of a palette or something like that. But if you're just an everyday makeup wearer, I think that this is a great one for light to medium coverage. You can build it up, although I don't do that. And I think that the finish is natural. And depending on the kind of primer you wear underneath, you can get more of a luminous finish or more of a natural finish. So today I pretty much applied it right after I finished my skincare routine, and I do use an oil at the end of my skincare routine, and so I kind of applied it right after that instead of using a primer, since my skincare hadn't like fully absorbed at that point. And I think it still looks really beautiful. I think it looks natural. It doesn't look heavy. It's comfortable. The shade match is good. So I'm 6.0 natural. A little bit pricey, but hey, the Sephora sale is going on right now. Next, I wanted to tell you about a BoxyCharm find. So this is something that you will also see me use. I'm not sure if it's that same video or a different video, but I used it in a full face of products I bought and never used. Again, the way I schedule my videos, I can never tell what's gonna come first, but I used this pencil there, and it's from Gerard Cosmetics. I thought I had picked it up in a BoxyCharm pop-up, but no, I bought this in the BoxyCharm charm room with my charms from my referral links when people joined using my links, and I use the shade Nude, and I love this. I love how creamy it is. I love that it's sharpenable. I have committed to not buy any more like twist up pencils because they have a tendency to dry out on me. I love a pencil I can sharpen and get a very nice fresh tip every single time. And it's just so creamy and easy to apply, and the colors are so pretty. This one is just in the shade Nude, but it's not too nude, so I can apply it and wear underneath a lip gloss, and it looks so pretty. But I can also define my lip line when I'm wearing a lighter colored lipstick. It was a really pleasant surprise. I wish that Gerard Cosmetics was a little bit more accessible. Like I said, I bought it in a BoxyCharm charm room, but I think that they have their own website. They used to be carried at Riley Rose, but Riley Rose is no more. And I wish that they were a little bit more accessible. I definitely want to look more into the brand because I was really impressed by the quality of this pencil. Let me give you a little swatch, actually. Yeah. So you can see that it's kind of like a nudie pink kind of color. Very much my lips, but better, and so creamy. The only thing I wish is that it sharpened a little bit better. I don't feel like it's perfectly cylindrical in the way that it's sharpened, and I use a good sharpener. I have the one from NARS and I have the one from Urban Decay, so it can sharpen a little bit better, but the quality of the pencil itself is so nice that I can definitely look past that. Next, I wanted to mention this eyeshadow from Natasha Denona. It is the Chromium Liquid Eyeshadow. One of the very first videos I did when I moved here was to swatch and play with all 5 of these liquid shadows on my channel. I love these so much. They are so easy to use. I like the applicator. I like the working time that you have with the formula. And this is my favorite shade. In my opinion, all 5 are great, but some are a little more spectacular than others. And in my opinion, this is the very best one. It is the shade in Scarab, and it has like a blue, green, gold shift to it. It's so hard to capture these on camera, but they're just so, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So right now you're seeing more of the gold, but I assure you that in the right angle, it's got green. Oh, there it goes. See, it's got green and blue. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm wearing one of these on my eyes today. I'm wearing the shade Infra Nude on my eyes today. And this one has more of a neutral tone, like neutral red and green. And even though the effect is a lot less pronounced than this one, my daughter still noticed, because before she was leaving for work, she's like, what eyeshadow are you wearing? It keeps changing colors. And it was one of these. I have the whole video about it if you would like to see them swatched right on the eye. But just like I said in that video, Scarab, truly something special. I also couldn't have my favorites video without sharing my Lisa Eldridge lipstick. I loved all of them. All 4 of the new lipstick shades that she created for her velvet lipsticks are stunning. I did a full video dedicated to these as well, where I lip swatch absolutely all of them, as well as the glosses and one of the lip liners. I absolutely love them, and just as I knew I would, my favorite shade is the shade Velvet Dragon. It is such a beautiful pumpkin orange shade. It's slightly deeper than my nails today, but you can see it has that pumpkin vibe to it. Oh, these are so beautiful. I absolutely love them. She still has some options in the Floral Fantasy kits that she created this time around, but like usual, when she creates new lipsticks, they're so well thought out, and the inspiration behind the color as well is really inspiring. I just think she creates a beautiful, beautiful lipstick. She also commented on my video, which, or her social media team, you know, but still, it's exciting. I just think these are beautiful lipsticks, and they wear really nicely underneath the mask. They're a comfortable matte formula. I love them. I absolutely love them. So if there's a color that calls out to you, I would definitely recommend them. I also have something from Wayne Goss. I was not able to get a dedicated video out with regard to these blush duos on my channel, but I did purchase 2 of them. I purchased this one, which is in the shade Coral Rose. I believe this one is currently sold out on the Beautylish website, but the other 4 are still available. I purchased this one, and I purchased Vivid Azalea, but I have to say that of the 2, despite this being probably the more traditional duo, where, you know, you have your champagne highlight, you have your peachy pink blush, there is beauty in that as well. And I'm going to say that when I mention the eyeshadow palette favorites that I have to share with you too, because even though the Vivid Azalea is just as beautiful, just as high quality, because of the color selections, I'm not wearing it as much. But this is beautiful. I love a matte blush because I think that it is the most flattering on my more mature skin, but the highlighter is beautiful as well because it doesn't emphasize texture, and when you apply it, you would have thought you applied a cream highlight. The way that it just blends with your skin and diffuses beautifully, you would have thought you were working with a beautiful cream highlighter, but no, it's definitely a powder. And I like the fact that you can kind of combine the 2 together to make a more luminous blush as well, but you still have the option to have the matte blush, which I think is really flattering and I do enjoy. This little palette is so lovely. I think that I only have 2, but of the 2 that I have, Coral Rose is my favorite. The only thing I don't understand is why the name of the palette is Coral Rose, yet when you look at the shade names, it's Blushing and Rosy, or Rosy and Blushing. I'm not sure which way it goes. I think it's Blushing and Rosy, but it has nothing to do with the palette name, which I thought was interesting. Just the same, they're just beautiful, beautiful duos. Definitely highly recommend. If there is a shade that calls out to you, grab it. The quality is beautiful. The packaging is really luxurious. I know that I wasn't 100% sold on the packaging of the lip products, despite the quality of the products being really nicely. This one is simple, but it's got some weight to it. It's got the reflective finish on it. It's just, I think it looks very luxurious, and I do recommend this one, especially the coral rose. Also a favorite is the highlighter that I'm wearing today. This one is by Charlotte Tilbury, and it is her Hollywood Superstar Glow highlighter. I recently shared this one in a beauty R&R video, which it may be prior to this one or maybe a couple of videos behind this one. I'll link it up in the cards if you want to check it out. But of the 5 products I featured in that video to rank, this was my number one. It is the highlighter that I'm wearing today, and what I love about it is that there is not one single solitary speck of glitter, and it's not a metallic highlighter. It is really that glow from within highlighter. Now, I enjoy a metallic sheen to my highlights because it makes them super blinding, but something like this just looks like your skin is dewy and hydrated, and it's so beautiful. The embossing is absolutely gorgeous as well, and I'm surprised at the fact that it's still there despite how much I've been using it. I love the compact. You're getting a generous amount. Right now it's listed as limited edition, but who knows? I do highly recommend it if you're interested in picking up anything from her collection. I did also review her eyeshadow palette, the Bejeweled Eyes to Mesmerize palette. Beautiful palette. I really enjoyed it, but it didn't make the impression that this highlighter did. So gorgeous. I have 4 more items to share with you right now, and I will go ahead and do the hair product first, and because the others are eyeshadow palettes. This is something from Aveda, and it is the Damage Remedy Daily Hair Repair, and it's like a serum for your hair. I received this for the first time in a FabFitFun box, and I was just like, oh, okay, you know, I'll try it. I didn't really think much of it because it's one of those leave-in treatments, and I have to be very careful about what kind of leave-in treatments I put in my hair because it's really fine, as you can see. So I started using it, and I was noticing that my hair was almost like air drying beautifully, and my hair never does that because I have keratin treated ends, which makes the hair straight, but my roots are super curly. So my hair just, you can't air dry it. It's one or the other. I have to either curl it or I have to straighten it so that I can make both ends agree. But if you are close to having a hair that air dries naturally, I would so recommend this. I actually filmed an empties video, which I still haven't uploaded, where I had my empty one of this specific product, and I mentioned in that video that I had been out of it for about 3 days, and I immediately placed my purchase for a replacement because I didn't want to be without it. I found greater hair health. I found reduced hair loss, and this also has a heat protectant in it. It's just, my hair loves it. If you have thin hair that's a little bit dry, or if you have hair that you would love to be able to air dry naturally and have it look lovely, I would recommend trying this. I purchased mine from Nordstrom, but it's also available on Selfridges, which I'm shopping from Selfridges now too. And I absolutely love it. What an amazing find from FabFitFun. Love it. It's great. My hair loves it. So now onto the eyeshadow palette. I have 2 of these quads from Pat McGrath. I'll admit, I was originally disappointed that the quads were not going to have any of her special shades. The price was slightly less than the ones that did have the special shades last year, but still, is it enough to warrant that price tag? Debatable. It's still the beautiful Pat McGrath quality, and I was actually really impressed with this specific quad. This one is the Interstellar Icon quad. Now, I shared a video where I shared all 3 quads with you, and I mentioned how surprised I was with this specific quad because of how sophisticated it was and the beauty of the eye look that I created with it so easily, like almost without even trying. And I've since tried more looks with this, and it's so easy to use. It's such a beautiful quad, and what I love about it is the same what I love about Charlotte Tilbury quads. When you wear it, you're going to get a very sophisticated look, very classy, very elegant, with beautiful shimmers. The blue shade that you're seeing here is slightly duochrome. I'm not sure if I can capture it on camera, but it's blue to purple shift, a very pretty color. It's just very sophisticated. I was surprised at how much I actually liked this one and appreciated it. So I think that this one is great if you want to pick up one of the quads that's going to be more applicable for every day. And in that sense, if you're going to be using something so frequently, then it kind of justifies the price. If you watch that video, then you know how wowed I was by this one. And the reason being for that shimmer silver shade, which is called Lavendering. This one is the Risque Rose Quad. And incidentally, the two quads that are my favorites here featured on this video are the two that are available on Sephora. The other one, which was kind of like the purple quad, I didn't enjoy it as much. The colors were a little bit too light for my liking, but this one, this shade is gorgeous. It's absolutely divine. I love it. Definitely check out that video if you'd like to see these in action along with swatches and everything. I would have shared the Mega Mothership palette here as a favorite as well, but since I already had the Star Wars 6-pan palettes, I can't really say that the Mega Mothership palette is my absolute favorite, but I do definitely recommend it if you don't have the Star Wars 6-pan palettes because there's repeated shades from those. The quality is absolutely beautiful, but since it didn't add that much to my personal collection, it's not my personal favorite, but still excellent, and I did a whole video on that one as well. And last but not least, these products are in no particular order, but the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. I featured this one in a full face of makeup I bought and never used, and you all thought it was so funny how intimidated I was by this palette, but I'm very intimidated by cool tones. You can see my skin has a lot of warmth, and sometimes cool tones can really age me, but every time I have gone in to use this palette, I've again created looks that are really sophisticated, a little bit more evening for me personally, but still beautiful. And I found ways to kind of warm up the look so that it's a really modern kind of contrast where I have a silvery smoky eye, but the rest of my face is really warm and bronzy. I got the idea from the Natasha Denona Instagram, and it paid off. Like, it totally paid off, and I really liked it. And I think it's just a beautiful palette. Definitely adds to the Natasha Denona line because most of her palettes, they're warmer tones or rosier tones. The Lila palette is a little bit, probably the coolest toned palette that she has aside from this one, but this one is a lot more neutral and more everyday appropriate. So I definitely recommend it. I know that some of you have told me that you picked it up on my recommendation and that you're loving it, so I'm so happy to hear that. I think it's a great one, and I also like the price points of this palette. They're at $65. I think it's reasonable for what you're getting. The quality is really nice, and again, it's a palette that you can use every single day if you don't have an extensive makeup collection. Something like this would be just great. I did review other items from her holiday collection, the 2 nude lipsticks as well as the mini Zendo palette, which I also enjoyed, and the highlighter as well. So I will link that up in the cards if you want to check that video out as well. But of all of those products, the thing that stood out to me the most was the Glam palette because it was so unique to my personal collection. And I really enjoyed it. So that's everything for my favorites. I feel like I've been talking a mile a minute and for about 3 hours, but we'll see how I do when I get to editing this video. I hope that you did enjoy hearing my monthly favorites. I would love to hear your monthly favorites, and if you have any recommendations for things I should pick up during the Sephora sale. I have already purchased the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette, and I cannot wait to get that in my hot little hands. I am so excited. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for another video. I hope your month of November is off to a great start. Hang in there. I know that things are starting to kind of take a downturn and winter is coming, so to speak. But, hang in there. I hope you're doing really well, and, find your pleasures where you can. And I'm going to borrow from Drea and just say, be kind to yourself. Like, really be kind to yourself and take good care of yourself during this time because you deserve it and you're important. So that's everything from me today. Thank you for joining me for today's video. Thank you again for spending a few minutes of your day with me. If you did enjoy it, don't forget that thumbs up. It means so much to me. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, as I would love to see you again. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon on my next one. Bye-bye.